Hi everybody, Cleo-chan here to brighten your day. I'm just kidding. It's a wig. It's a wig, and I didn't even put a wig cap on or anything. I just thought I'd throw it on for some vim and vigor and spice and everything nice. Trying out a new selfie clamp. It likes to fall over, so yeah. But in a fix. It's pink. I think that's funny. I don't remember even if I picked pink or not, but I did comment on Twitter the other day that I feel like the older I get, the more I wouldn't say embrace girly things, but I'm less afraid of identifying with them. I am sitting on an exercise ball, by the way, trying to improve that spine alignment because I went to the physical therapist a couple weeks ago and she drew this horrifying picture that was like, this is your spine right now. And I was like, oh God, that's scary. I'm not cutting out all tasty things. Okay, it does not want to stay up. Okay, I'm reviewing this B-size, the clip right now. I mean, it was only like $20, so can't expect miracles. But I know my my actual hair is like not even that pink anymore. But yeah, one of you guys was like, I think you were kind of, I don't know if you were kidding or what, but you're like, hey, why don't you just wear a wig so you don't have to keep dyeing your hair? And I was like, that is a great idea. For big events like VidCon and stuff, I'll probably still dye my hair, but for videos, like, it's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the butt to keep, getting your hair bleached and dyed. Plus, it's expensive. Plus, it fries your hair, and just, I have to wash with really cold water in the shower, and just not fun. So, yeah, this is way easier. Anyway, so what's new? I haven't recorded for a couple of days. I was tired. I didn't really have that much to say. It's been fairly nice weather the last few days. I mean, it's a little bit chilly, but it hasn't rained for like 3 days, so we've been trying to capitalize on that and get the kids outside as much as possible. We bought a hot tub. I mean, it's not going to be here till June, but and I'm getting a little anxious because we really, I keep talking about redoing the patio or whatever. We're still waiting on the estimate from the guy, and it's been over a week, and I'm just like, it's eating into the time that we have to build it before it gets really hot, and also I don't want to spend any other money. I mean, this I bought a while ago. I just haven't used it. I don't really want to spend any more money until I know how much this patio is going to be because, we're going to have to either cut a bunch out or get on a payment plan or something if it costs more than, what's left from my mom's life insurance, which it could easily go. You Google it and it's like, oh, patio redecorating can go from 10,000 to 100,000. I'm like, that's quite a wide, range, but. So kids are outside right now. I mean, they were 5 seconds ago. I've been trying to bribe them with like, if you stay outside till nap time, I'll give you chocolate because they just don't want to stay outside very long. We are getting a playset eventually at the end of this month installed, supposedly. We bought it like in February and they are forcing us to let them install it, which makes sense because we got it through Costco and I assume they have a lot of people that do a bad job trying to install it and then are like, it's broke and I want my money back. So they make you use a service to install it, which also makes me feel better anyway because sometimes my husband likes to cut corners a little bit and it's just like I want it to be safe for the kids, so hopefully that'll keep him outside. But yeah, kind of just trying to look towards the future. My headache hasn't been super bad the last few days. It's definitely been more painful than pressure, which I don't know if that's good or bad because it's been this weird like pressure kind of headache for since August. My dad is getting his second vaccination shot tomorrow. Husband was already fully vaccinated weeks ago through work. No word on mine yet, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, so probably not going to be until the very last phase. Interestingly, I took the boys to get their hair cut the other day, and for the first time in like half a year, and the hairdresser was like, oh, you could just show up at the fairgrounds and get vaccinated. They won't check your eligibility. And she kind of pushed it. She mentioned it like 3 times, and I was like, well, I'm not really exposed to out, grocery shopping, but that's about it. And I would feel really bad taking the place of, a grocery store worker or teacher or something like that. So I'm good. Even though I do hope that it would, maybe help with my headache or whatever. Like I just, I've learned to live with it. I'm a little concerned. I've got a bump or something in my skin. I know this is like TMI corner, whatever. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a cyst or what, but I'm just like, I'm trying not to tell the doctor because I went to the doctor so many freaking times last year because of, constant new things thanks to COVID. Um, that I really try not to message her unless it's like life or death. So I'm just hoping it goes away, but it's just annoying because I'll be like tucking Link in and I'll brush against, the top of the bunk and I'm like, ah. So not, just one thing after another. Getting a lot more of those, I can't really see from this far away, but I'm getting a lot more of those little rosea type stone things. I don't even know showing up on the camera, but like I was wearing a low cut shirt yesterday because I was doing yard work and I looked down and I was like, that one's new, that one's new, that one's new. Supposedly that's something that just happens as you get older. I feel like I'm getting more than my husband or anything, but maybe I'm just predisposed to that. Yeah, getting older is great, and I'm only 35. Like compared to so many people in the world, I'm young, but I'm definitely not young anymore compared to 20. It's weird. It's weird to try to think of yourself as getting older, and I know everyone always says this. Like you hear 60-year-olds saying like, "Oh, I feel like I was 20 yesterday or whatever," and I don't know. Our culture really isn't favorable towards older people. We, other cultures, older people are considered wise, and you ask them for advice or whatever. Unfortunately, a lot of the older people do it themselves by turning out to be, conspiracy theorists, Trump is our god, liberals eat babies, crazy people. And it's like, oh, I'm supposed to ask you for advice? Okay. Plus, just because something has been around longer doesn't mean it's the more, it's the more truthful thing. I mean, they love to say like, well, they were saying don't wear masks and now they're saying wear masks. Like, make up your mind. That's the nature of science, is you alter your opinion based on new information. If you reject any new information that changes your going opinion, that is anti-science. That is anti-intellectual. And that is not something to be, supported. Anyway. So I've been playing more Breath of the Wild. I never actually finished it. I got like halfway through and then I just kind of stopped playing, as I do for all games, even for a Legend of Zelda game, apparently. So much for calling myself a Legend of Zelda fangirl. So I started playing that again. I still hate the weapon durability thing. It drives me crazy because then I feel like I'm getting punished for actually using a weapon. Of course, I try to use the weakest one first, but as you get into harder areas, it's more difficult. What's funny is I've never really been a fan of handheld games. I don't find them comfortable because it's tiny and you have to like sit some certain way or whatever. But I do like the convenience. I wish that my fan wasn't broken. For some reason, my Switch fan broke a while ago, so it's really loud. And so when I mean, not that, I'm ever in a cafe or whatever, but like, for instance, when I went with my dad to get his first vaccination and they have you sit for 15 minutes to make sure that you don't have a bad reaction. I was sitting there, bad reaction. I was sitting there with him trying to play on my Switch, and I was just like, the fan is so loud. So I'm thinking of getting a new one for myself and giving that one to Link because the kids are always fighting over their kids' Kindle anyway. But I don't know. I'm trying to get them to play outside more. I'm like, no electronics till after your nap, blah, blah, blah. But it's always a kicking, screaming fight to get them to do. Like, they will play with their toys. They're not like my neighbor's kid who literally just watches people playing Minecraft all day. That's all he does. He doesn't go play outside. He doesn't play with other kids. He doesn't draw. He doesn't, play pretend. And he's 6. And he just... But I mean, she's under a lot of stress, so I can't really blame her for not, spending all this time with him or whatever. But that's the thing is, I do feel kind of guilty that I'm privileged enough to be at home with my kids all the time, so I should be like a lot more hands-on with them. But I'm also really tired all the time, and I'm wasting my time on this content creation bullshit that, since I stopped flashing my tits on the internet, no one watches anyway. But at least I'm not, well, except for years old posts that are still somehow getting banned. I deleted everything off YouTube that even had a hint of nipple. But I can't really do that in Instagram. I can't like just mass go and delete everything in the past. I mean, I can delete everything, but I can't go back and delete individual posts. And I don't want to spend the time doing that. Maybe I will though. Maybe I'll just wipe all the old posts and just, have less of a chance. I guess I could just, make a new account that's not anything to do with topics, but I don't know. I hate them all. They're all evil, but no one else uses anything else. I've been trying to use Mastodon and I have to figure out a good app for my phone to use it on or whatever. but I'm more nervous using Mastodon because, well, the instance I'm on, Eldritch Cafe, is a French-based one, and they specifically are like okay with topless women, not okay with porn, not okay with Nazis, which sounds great, but people hide their content under a sensitive media over everything. They do it over eye contact and pictures and like mentions of all sorts of stuff. And so a lot of stuff that I talk about, you know, like Republicans and anti-vaxxers and stuff, I'm always like, is this going to be considered like, should I content warning this? And I feel like with content warnings, if you do slap a content warning over your content, no, you know, almost no one's going to click to see it. Now, maybe the Mastodon community, 3 people, such as it is, are going to be more likely to click it. But I just, you know, a long time ago, I took this web development class or whatever, and I don't remember basically anything from it except that our textbook, which was actually pretty good, was called Don't Make Me Think. And basically they drilled it into our heads, you know, if someone has to click like more than twice to get to a certain piece of content on your website, they're just going to leave. So you got to always like think what would the most important content be for, you know, someone with a goldfish attention span, although goldfish actually, it's a myth. But anyway, you know, how do I grab their attention the quickest? And that's the nature of clickbait too, is, you know, you're trying to get somebody to be interested enough to click it. Unfortunately, that's been abused so much that, you know, there's all these spam sites that are like, you won't believe what happened next, or just like, I've seen BuzzFeed and stuff get away from it a little bit, but it just became this, pernicious thing all over the internet where it was, you know, oh, you can't wait to see what clicked next. That's like everyone's saying that, and it's like, okay, there's so many people saying that, I don't care anymore. I'm not going to click on any of it. But point being, you know, it's drilled into me that you always have to make everything as accessible as possible, which means you're going to have to kill your darlings, as the expression goes for writers, and not view all of your content as the most important ever. But it's something I deal with my own content too, because I do not put tags or titles that are not relevant to my videos. I think that's shitty and will actually, you know, net you negative reactions. I don't, like I said, my hair's not even in a wig cap or anything. So, but look, it bounces. Mostly I'm worried about, you know, how tangled it'll get, because a long time ago I bought a long ass wig to cosplay as Zelda, and it got so tangled I just threw it away because I couldn't get it, you know, whatever. I got a wig brush or whatever, but I haven't. It's fine for now. Definitely having a hard time keeping away from the kids. Like, Link wanted to put it on, so I put it on, and then immediately he was like going crazy. I'm like, okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, yeah, so I fixing the website, making it more accessible is definitely on my to-do list, but I don't know how to code, and every time I try to change stuff in WordPress, it breaks the site, so it's not really high on my list. Plus, again, like, who even goes to the website? It's just, I just use it to have a custom URL for video uploads or whatever. But since I don't have anywhere to safely upload my videos right now, except Library, well, I'm trying out Library. As I've said before, you have to have a logged in account, and you have to have show mature content enabled to even see my videos. So, you know, a lot of the people that follow me are not very technologically inclined, or even if they could figure it out, they don't have the motivation to figure it out. So none of them are gonna, you know, make an account and click so they can see mature content just to watch my videos. So the only way I can be discovered is by people on Library who have mature content enabled. And guess what they're gonna be looking for to stumble onto my videos? That's right, freaking hardcore porn. So, you know, at least, you know, on YouTube, it's insane to look for hardcore porn on there. Yeah, you might find some, but you're going to have far better luck going to Pornhub or something where it actually is encouraged. Library is free for all. So, yeah, there's a lot of fucking hardcore porn on it. And there's a lot of Nazis and conspiracy theorists, because that's what always happens with, you know, free speech. You should be able to post female nipples and hardcore porn and, you know, what, inciting hate crimes and blah, blah, blah. I found a link to a tool that lists the library creators with like the most subscribers, and wouldn't you know, like 7 of the top 10 are all Nazis. Yay! Nazis, QAnoners, anti-vaxxers, stuff like that. So, yep. Anyway, so that's same old. I did record some footage with the new Sony Handycam that looks pretty good. It does look, I don't know about 4K, but it definitely looks high def, and I haven't really edited it yet. I'm kind of holding my breath because supposedly my husband is going to get a new computer soon, and he like sent the specs to his techie friends to overview, and I'm hoping that that'll be easier to edit video because then I can just have all the files on one drive. I don't have to keep, saving stuff off like I do on my laptop, because my laptop only has 500 gigabytes in the computer. Counting, Windows and stuff is in there too. And then I have a 2 terabyte SD in there, but Arc alone takes up 300 gigabytes. So, having games installed and having like 2 videos worth of files on there, that fills up the whole freaking 2 terabytes. So yeah, it'd be nice to just edit from a desktop. And again, it will be annoying that it'll be downstairs, so I can't like do Plexstorm live streams from there and everything because my kids will walk in at any point. But maybe someday when Link is in school and thing about that, and Aiden is in daycare, at least I'll have a couple hours a day that I can stream without worrying about my kids popping on screen. But anyway, so yeah, I found out a fun thing about Link's schooling. So he's turning 5 in July, and so I called the school that's right up the street, like 3 blocks away from us, that just got a brand new building and everything, to ask about like how do I get him enrolled. And they were like, oh, he's actually in this other district, so you're gonna have to talk to them. So I looked up this other district. It's 5 miles away. Why can my child not go to the public elementary school 3 blocks away? He has to go 5 miles. And there's like all this bureaucratic bullshit about, disadvantaged schools and blah, blah, blah. It's all suburbia. It's all suburbia right here. Like, it's the same economic level on all these districts. So I don't really see how, I don't know. I don't want to be a NIMBY. I don't want to be like a, white feminist or whatever. To me, it doesn't make sense to make the kid go so far away. I could walk him to school here, which I would kind of prefer to do because he's still pretty little, and I don't know, I don't trust the madness of drop-off, especially on a bus. I never took a bus. Growing up, I was always my parents tended to move mountains to get me into the closer, better schools, which was privilege, but I never got to ride a school bus because I was always going to the closer places, so I could walk there. Anyway, man, I sound very like upper middle class all of a sudden. I don't think I am. I mean, who knows? What is the cutoff? What is the cutoff? I'm definitely not, impoverished or anything like that. Like, we have a house, I have a computer, I'm not impoverished. But I for sure, can't just go out and buy a yacht. Like, like people complaining about the stimulus cutoff where it was like, what, like 1,800,000 a year or something like that. Do you know how well paid you have to be to make 1,800,000 a year? That's plenty. You should be not getting free money for that. Anyway, yeah. So that's about it. I don't know. I still haven't really had the energy or time to put together anything too exciting. And again, since I'm not flashing my tits on the internet anymore, like, who's gonna even watch my content? It's not like I got anything else going on. There's another Follow Back Friday that just the nudists on Twitter always do it. I don't really care about Follow Back Friday. Like, I'll do it for, I don't know, content creators or something like that, but I don't even know that many I don't know any content creators that would put me in the Follow Back Friday. Anyway, so they always do it, and they tend to include me, and I don't love it because the nudists who follow me, some of them are great, but a lot of them are, middle-aged, not particularly progressive, hopefully not Trumpers, but not particularly progressive or whatever, who don't like the fact that I talk about so many things besides the nudism, and I'm divisive, and I'm, anti-Republican and everything like that. They just want me to talk about nudism. They don't want to talk about video games. They don't want to talk about, politics or anything like that. And I'm like, I never said that I was a representative for nudism. I happen to be a nudist, and, I think it would be great if other people, not that everyone was a nudist, but at least that everyone was okay with nudism and wasn't like, oh my God, a woman having her shirt off in front of her kid is the same as having sex with him. Like, so fucking stupid. But yeah, I'm not a representative for all nudist kind. And also, like, I think it's really boring to just talk about nudism all the time. Like, we were kind of talking about it in Twitter, and some of my followers agreed with me, where it was like, yeah, it's kind of weird to just be like, I'm naked. Is anyone else naked? Like, who fucking cares? But their point was made that, you know, it's a lot of people just want to talk about like the ethics of nudity or whatever, and they're not really sure how to start that conversation. I still feel like way too many nudists on Twitter and stuff are just like, who's naked? Let's post a picture of us being naked. Yay, it's so great being naked. Like, how is that your whole identity? And a lot of them are like, well, I don't want to be divisive. I'm like, I don't see how you can stand for nudism and not be divisive. Like, the people that you're trying to suck up to, the anti-vaxxers and Nazis and everything, are most likely going to call you a slut, pervert, you know, weirdo for being naked too. Like, why are you trying to appeal to those people? I don't know. Anyway, people can do what they want. You can make whatever content you want. I'm going to make whatever content I want. I probably will stay, you know, in iniquity. What's that word? That means like nobody knows obscurity. I don't know. Whatever. Um, you know, forever, because I'm not doing the brand friendly thing. But at least I'm still having fun when I'm not getting banned left and right. Yeah, that's about it. We'll see. Yeah, I got tomorrow's live stream. That's, you know, basically the only regular thing I do anymore, besides trying to do daily vlogs now and then that nobody cares about. So if you only want to see my female nipples, you should go to plexstorm.com/stream/topics on Saturdays at 3 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so you can watch me rage and scream at video games as I die repeatedly because I refuse to change my tactics and try to just bullhead my way through situations, because that's how you win the battle. You don't, you know, recognize that the battlefield requires different tactics. You just keep trying the same thing over and over until sheer persistence beats that boss. Not the best way to play games if you don't want to get frustrated all the time. But yeah, that's it. See you later.